feel like preparing myself for death, and I was like talking to my mom and like my boyfriend and my best friend, and I was like, if I don't make it, like you guys will be okay. Like.
Welcome to BlessedPod.
Welcome everyone. Hello.
Episode number 3.
I don't know about that yet, babe.
Yes, it is number 3.
Is it? Oh yeah,
Yes.
episode number 3.
Episode number 3. We have an amazing and courageous guest on today. Before I introduce you to her, just tell you a little bit about her and how I know her. So we met in year 11, I think it was. And she has a background in retail. So she worked some hard yards in retail and currently works in the real estate industry. She's traveled a few places such as New York, Hawaii and Florida. And she's had 3 operations last year. That has changed her life.
Boom. Mic drop. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's Eliza.
Eliza, welcome.
Welcome.
This is a 3-person setup. Welcome to our studio. It's a work in progress.
I feel
Definitely.
so honored being
Yeah.
here. Oh my goodness.
No, we're definitely
Thank
happy
you
to
for
have you.
having me.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Heard lots about you. Literally over the last couple of days, I've kind of heard a bit about what happened, like your situation and stuff like that. And I messaged you. It's just crazy what's happened and what I've heard, and I know we'll dive into it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're here, kind of sharing that and what's happened. But I'll let Ali kind of liaise and kind of coordinate this.
Alright, cool.
Okay, so we're just going to get right into it. So we're going to start off with the BlessedPod questions. Name 3 ways you are blessed today.
I would definitely have to say my health. And we can talk a little bit about that later.
100%.
My loved ones, so like my family and friends. And I think I'm just blessed to be alive today. So just like life in general.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Nice and short.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay, so why do you feel blessed by your said answers?
I feel blessed because I probably wouldn't even be sitting here right now with you guys if after what I've been through and such a traumatic experience. So I'm very blessed just to have just people around me who are positive.
It's almost like another chance at life, hey?
Yeah, I feel like I've just been giving a second chance at life. So I'm just so blessed to even be here today and just...
Right. Oh, no.
Yeah. I
Well,
think
out
it's
of
just that.
Yeah, out of the 3 of us, you've had that experience.
Yeah,
so
sure.
we're here almost to learn from you and what that second chance at life kind of feels like.
Yeah.
It's so precious, and we don't really I think by default we kind of almost take it for granted.
Oh, 100%. I think just because I don't know if you've ever been like a near-death experience or like just a lot of people take life for granted and just their health in general.
Yeah.
Because without your health, you honestly like you can't do anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Health is just wealth.
Yeah.
That's like
100%.
my motto for 2020.
That's
so
like-
I'm
oh.
just preaching
That's a
it.
good motto.
Right. Yeah. 100%. New decade. New me.
So talking about being blessed, have you always felt blessed, or is it something you had to come to the realization of?
I think with my growing up, I've always felt blessed, like a good family, always had a roof over my head, had food. So in terms of that, like that's just a blessing in itself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been recently just blessed with, having a second life, God giving me, I think he put me through that for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure why.
Mm-hmm.
But just being able to tell my story and just share my journey with other people, like it's really opened their eyes too. And in terms of like what I have, it's not a common thing. So just to educate like other people about having like a chronic illness and like going through all that sort of stuff, like it's just a whole nother world. Like
I'm pretty eager to hear this story, babe. How much more of these intro questions do we have?
That's it, and then we'll eventually get into the real estate side of things. And
Of course.
But let's dive into.
Let's fucking get into it. Yeah, I'm really keen to.
Every time I talk about this, I get super emotional. I start
Oh, really?
to tear up. I'm sorry. Like it's. Just
I
like
should have been prepared with some tissues, babe.
Tissues.
Where the fuck were you at there, babe? Holy shit! I can get some
it's
tissues
all
though.
good.
If it
No,
gets
I'm
like
all
that,
good,
no,
I
that's it. But yeah, take us from like from the top, man. Like what?
Yeah. Well, so recently I had like such a life-changing experience. Not many people knew until I posted about it.
Right.
So it was quite private. So last year in November, I undergone 3 surgeries.
Right.
And it was for abdominal pain. So basically I came home from work. I left work early and I was like, I don't feel well. Like something's wrong with me. Something doesn't feel right. So I went home and I was like to my mom, no, like I'm okay. Like I'm one of those people that like to kind of like pass pain. I'm like, I'll be fine. Like I just need to take a paracetamol and like I'm sweet. But in this case, like I honestly like had to go to the hospital. Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah, I knew. So I was in hospital and that night, my mom had to consent to like an operation. My large bowel, you know how you have a small and large intestine? My large intestine was actually twisted and parts of it were dead. They found out later that night. So they had to operate on me that night. And like, it was such a blur for me. Like I was like super heavily drugged up and like sedated. So in terms of like the process, it's like black and white.
So that same day you got back from work, that night you were in
I was in hospital.
ER.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had to get operated on that night. And then I woke up and I was in ICU. I had like a breathing tube down my throat and like I couldn't talk. Like my arms were like what's it called? Like clipped onto like the handrails because I kept taking the breathing tube out and I couldn't talk. And my boyfriend and my mom was like laying by my side. They're like, okay, like it was so traumatic. I woke up and I was just like, what the fuck like just happened?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I wasn't expecting just having tummy pains and then next
then
minute
you're
like I'm
fucking
like in ICU. Like what the heck is going on?
Yeah, 100%.
And so basically my condition, like what I have is an ileostomy. I know some people are not too
it's very foreign to me.
I know it's very foreign to me too, and I'm
please educate me.
I'm still learning, but basically because I don't have a large bowel anymore, I'm depending on my small intestine to digest the food. So I basically don't shit the normal way now, like through your anus or your
and
rectum.
is that something that you could obviously could you get like a transplant, or was that like off the table?
So like in terms of like a transplant, there is option for reversal, so I can have another surgery down the track that reverses what I have. But I'm not thinking about that right now.
No, of course.
Kind of like trying to get through this stage in my life, but basically like the end part of my small intestine is literally like hanging out of my tummy. Yeah. Okay. And I wear a bag every day that I have to change and empty because there's obviously poo there. If that makes sense.
Kudos to you. That first part of that story is really, really. I mean, like we have I appreciate you sharing. Okay. And obviously, I asked that question, transplant, whatever. But I wanted to get you. I mean, it didn't really, occur to me. But I'm like, you probably don't want to be operated on ever again. Maybe that's why you don't want to.
I just have such like.
I get you.
Like trauma, just it being in hospital, and it was so rough.
How long? How long was it?
Like
if you don't
probably
mind me
over a month or so.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was super tough because my dad, he was overseas. Like he recently retired, so he wasn't here. So it was literally just like me and my mom. My mom didn't drive, and my boyfriend like took time off work to like come and help me and like really get me through stuff. Even people from church like praying for me. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, super blessed, and I honestly can't thank everyone enough. Once I posted that post, I got so much love and support from everyone. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm not crying.
No, that's all right. Oh, I'm gonna have to get the tissues, babe. I'm gonna have to
get the tissues.
I'll get the tissues.
Gosh,
I'll get
no,
the tissues.
it's fine. I'm okay.
If it gets okay.
No, it's I think I'm crying because I'm just so happy and just talking about it just brings back
it's
memories.
A very elating feeling. No, 100%. I mean, I'm. This is probably one of the most serious conversations I had because I've never had a conversation around having that near-death experience. Yeah. And I think the message that you're trying to get out there is having a second chance at life, I guess, is really almost... It is a blessing. Yeah. And it's very fitting because of the name of our podcast. But what is that? Take us through that kind of process. I mean, obviously now having that second chance, are you doing anything that what all those light bulb moments you know what I mean though
I think I'm just living my best life in terms of not eating what I want but also staying healthy and just like grabbing life by the balls. Like,
yeah.
I was talking to my partner. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to waste any time. Like, if you know you want to be with someone, like, why wait?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked about marriage and like getting engaged, having
Fuck yeah.
kids. Like,
Holy
I
shit.
do want to do that in the next coming years.
Mm-hmm.
I always joke about dying. Like, with all my friends are like, oh, don't say
Gonna
that.
die young, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Now you
To
almost.
me, it's like funny, but everyone's like, no, don't say
Yeah,
that.
no, don't say that anymore. Don't say it ever again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't even joke about it. Yeah.
I
Knock on
know.
wood, everything, all that.
Seriously, yeah. I think I just have a newfound appreciation just for like my family and like my friends in general.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people take their health for granted, and so just stay healthy and
100%. So
it's such a blessing. I don't think people understand.
Yeah.
Like even when I was in hospital, I couldn't even get out of my bed or walk.
yeah.
So to some people, like walking is just like whatever to them, but people struggle
Yeah.
with that daily. So
Yeah.
just like little things like that, like having, like even me showering, I couldn't shower by myself.
Right.
My mom had to help me, just like couldn't drive, like just general stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's day to day.
Yeah.
I couldn't physically do for like 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if we delve a bit deeper into that, like what's different from like before that happened to after? So you're talking about like day to day.
Yeah.
Like
This is like Eliza
beforehand.
2.0.
Yeah,
Like, you know
so
what I
like
mean? Reborn.
beforehand.
Like that's it.
How are you
You
like,
You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How were you like beforehand, and then like now that you've had that experience?
I think
How's
I'm
it
just like
changed?
super conscious with like, not in terms of like what I eat too, but just
Not even
kinda
that old.
not-
Like you're not even old. Like,
I know I'm not
it's
even old,
crazy.
and especially in my case, like stuff like this doesn't usually happen to 20-year-olds. It
Right.
usually happen to people who are older.
Yeah.
So I think just I never used to take my count like into a health. Like I used to be super lazy. I'm not a gym person. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so
yeah, right.
fucking lazy.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm just like uni work. Like
Yeah.
I'm always hustling and like
Yeah,
doing
of course.
something. But I think just to like sit for a second and just appreciate stuff. Like I think some people are just, it's really go sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just to sit and just be grateful and just like be present,
Yeah.
because sometimes we don't know, like, you know, if it's our last day or like,
Oh man.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, but I think with especially hearing about your story, I did take not smoking seriously recently as well. Like I'm trying not to smoke and
Yeah.
do all that shit. Like I'm relatively healthy guy or whatever. But just hearing stories like this, and because like you're like not too far like from us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's someone we know. It's someone like that's right
Yeah.
there, and it's like, what the fuck? Like
I
it's just
know,
little
it's
shit
so
like that. You don't really
crazy.
take it. And you're in your 20s, like fucking, I can do whatever I want.
know.
And then that happens, and it's like, what the fuck? I need to
Crazy.
I need to
Just
revisit myself. I need to
changes everything. Yeah.
So would you say you're like, so what helped you get through that? I mean, I know a lot of people that go through that is like spiritual now. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, were you always like that?
I
Were you-
think I grew up in a Catholic family, so I've
Mm.
always been like that. But like in terms of my case, like I was kind of like forced to go to church. Like I wasn't willingly going because I want. Yeah, do you go on?
Her and I, the
Yeah.
same, man.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
forced. I was forced, and I took a stand. Like my parents still kind of do the rosary and shit.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah.
Do you do that too?
No, I understand where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
and it's like,
I
oh,
understand,
suck
yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like, ooh.
Yeah, but I think just especially just like being like hospitalized for over a month and
Oh,
having
yeah.
gone what I gone through, like I was like, God, like why are you putting me through this? Like
Yeah.
what did I do to deserve this? Like I was really doubting him, and like
Mm.
how does someone healthy like me, like how do I end up like this? Like
Yeah.
like you know,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
with
totally.
no like large intestine, like all this shit happening to me. And then it was like one thing after the other, like especially in recovery.
Yeah.
I was really praying, and I was really like trying to recover. And obviously recovery is not easy. Like I did have a lot of setbacks.
Yeah.
And hence why I had to get like the third operation.
Right.
'Cause, when I was in hospital, the food that I was eating, it wasn't digesting. I kept vomiting it out.
Yeah. Right.
I actually had a small obstruction in my small bowels, so they had to go back in and take the adhesions out and everything.
Right.
But before that surgery, I know it was just a keyhole surgery, but having what I gone through, like every time I hit like the what's it called? Like before they operate on you and stuff.
I'm not exactly
They go,
sure.
I know you haven't been in hospital. I can't think of it, but like my mom was full crying. She's like, "No, like you're gonna be okay."
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm trying. I was scared shitless, but I was trying to be like strong for my mom.
Of course.
She was
Yeah.
like really going through it, like, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways, and I was just like praying to God. I was like, God, if like this is my time, like it's okay. Like I've accepted it. Like I was telling that to myself, and I was like,
wow,
it's okay. Like I just want you to like take care of my family and like my friends and stuff.
Wow.
And then I woke up from the surgery, and I was like, oh, like praise God, like fuck, I'm
Yeah.
alive, like shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was full like preparing myself for death, and I was like talking to my mom and like my boyfriend and my best friend, and I was like, if I don't make it, like you guys will be okay. Like, yeah, crazy. Like I wouldn't think to myself like I would have to say that, but I was just trying to like prepare myself like realistically for like what could have happened.
Like
Yeah.
right.
Were you like, was that like early on, or like, because you said you were there for a few months, right?
Yeah, for over a month. I think that was like later on, like after my initial like big surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had the 3 surgeries within the one.
Yeah,
whole month?
1.5 months. Yeah.
So
Were you
it was
getting
like one after the other, kind of like, okay, we
the
found
2
this,
were
and
like
then
in the span of a week, and then the 3rd one was like 3 or 4 weeks after.
You were getting that reassurance, sorry, from like the staff, right? Like it's actually going to be okay. Like you're just being like, well, we've done this. Were you getting that? We've done this before.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be.
And they always like tell you like the risk and complications, but like
I don't want to
I'm
hear that.
still like,
Who the fuck wants to hear those risks and complications?
Doing
Like,
the job.
I know you're doing the job and
Doing
shit,
the
but you
job.
fucking make me feel
Yeah.
like shit. Like, bro, come on. Are you
oh my
serious?
goodness, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Oh my god, yeah, I can't imagine. Like that's it. I mean, this is me just assuming, but it looks like you're healthy. It looks like, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
obviously
doing
you're on
much
that
better
latter part of
now, like,
everything.
physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
Yep.
Like I was challenged in like all those areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
okay, so you did like mention the 3 surgeries and like how you were feeling, the thoughts. How are you handling all of it now, like after?
I think I'm just having a laugh about it, eh? Like I'm
Yeah.
just taking life.
Oh
like,
my
just
god,
so,
she's like me, babe. Like if that happened to me, like look, it's such a like, you can't fucking hate it, right? You can't hate
like it just is what it is.
It is what it is, and you can have a fucking laugh about it.
Yeah.
I love that about you. That's fucking mad. Are you serious?
Hey, that's why every time I joke about dying, my friend's like, "Don't say that." I'm like, "Calm down."
Fucking
like,
relax.
it's
I've been through it. You
I'm
can't
just
say
taking
anything.
the piss. Calm down.
Oh, 100%. How's your boyfriend doing with all of it though?
No, he's been.
Is he the
good.
same?
He's
Like
so
trying to laugh
supportive.
about it as
Yeah.
well? Right.
I think
trying
I'm
to,
just
right?
taking life more lightly. Like it's not too serious. Like I'm just.
Were you
I
a
find
serious
time-
person beforehand?
Was I? I feel like I like was in the sense
know
that
that you-
like I don't know. Like I just. How do I put this? Like I know, like now I know my time's limited, so I'm just like kind of like living how I want to, and like surrounding myself with like good, positive people.
Yeah, right.
And, like doing things that I want to do. I feel like I was just really go beforehand.
time.
And, like I need to do this before this age. I need to do that. Like stuff like that. And
Yeah, right.
I was like, I have all the time in the world. Like
So now-
I'm fine.
So now you've kind of
Yeah.
accepted it all, and now you're like moving on, and you're
Yeah.
taking the sort of
I'm
the
just
lessons
taking it
from
day
it
by
and
day.
taking it-
Yeah. I'm still adjusting. Like it's still not easy. Like
Yeah.
sometimes at night, like I leak and like shit's just
Yeah.
literally everywhere.
Yeah,
And
right.
like
Yeah.
it's like so like it's so fucking weird. To
Yeah,
be honest
right,
with you. Or even like me going to the beach, I had like my bag out. People were just looking and like sort of staring, but like I was just
Fuck off. Are
comfort-
you serious?
I was just like like it is what
They-
it
they
is.
probably
Like
haven't seen it before. They don't know what it is.
I
It's
know.
fucking, yeah, right. I
Yeah.
totally get it.
But I know some people are just unaware of what I have, and it's fine. I don't mind when people ask me questions about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, oh, like it's
Oh, right.
yeah, like they're
Okay.
like, sorry,
Yeah.
can I ask you? Like, yeah, that's fine. Like, yeah.
No, good on you. Holy fucking hell. Yeah. Sorry, babe. I'll just make sure we're staying on track here, because I get off topic
I know
heaps.
you it's a ramble.
No, it's all good. That story part was fucking got me. Fuck. Holy shit.
Okay, so going back to the question earlier, on what's different, like if you were to take us through like a day before and then compare your day nowadays, like has it changed? Like do you wake up earlier? Do you wake up later? Like do you exercise? Like has anything changed?
Oh, like little changes in terms of like my daily routine. Like I have to wake up a little bit earlier, like to change my dressing and like do all
right.
that stuff, and like go have a shower, and like in terms of like eating, I try to like have three meals a day, and then like snacks in between, because it's not good for me to have a big meal and then.
Oh, so you can't eat as much as you used to,
I still
right?
can, yeah,
Okay,
but
right.
like it's just the doctors have just said like it's good to snack on, like try not to have big meals, because obviously I only have a small intestine,
right.
and like it's like doing all the work.
Okay,
so
right.
I just kind of have to take it easy on
Right,
like,
okay.
and like really chew your food.
Right, okay, yeah.
But in terms of like day to day, I've started taking yoga classes.
Okay.
Like I took one like last week,
Yeah.
and it was so hard. Like some of the poses, and I was like sore the next day.
Well, it's your first time.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm first time like actually like doing something active. So
Oh,
I was
really?
just like, shit, like can I do this?
Oh,
I'm not
right.
a gym type of person. Like I just don't enjoy
That's okay.
going to the
Not
gym.
even
I
gym,
just feel like
But you know, like being active and stuff is now something you have to kind of
like
incorporate into your lifestyle,
definitely,
right?
most definitely, and just like like keep in mind like what I eat and like
Yeah, right.
just stuff like that.
Your mum trying to like change what she feeds you, like
Yeah.
or is she trying to still?
My parents
pump
are like,
you
you
full
can't
of
eat
the
that.
filler
I'm like,
food?
yes,
Oh.
I can.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay,
Yeah.
shit. I was
Is
gonna
there
say.
limitations as to what you can eat?
I just have to be careful of foods, like some sorts of foods, like just nuts and seeds. Like can't eat like stringy fruit, like mangoes, because it could like cause a blockage in there, and
Right.
I don't want that to happen again. So
Of course.
yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Damn.
Go for it, babe.
No, like this is really good.
It's probably a lot to take in.
Oh, I just wasn't expecting the whole like 3 operations and all that, but I mean, I think like my takeaway thus far is just like, because I can't imagine going through that, and like especially being like a bloke or whatever, like you think you're untouchable and you think
you
you're
think
fucking,
you're so fearless,
yeah,
and like
and
nothing
then,
can happen to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already a bitch
was
when I
like
get the
that
flu.
too,
Like,
yeah.
and then you're here. Like,
gosh.
when I get the man
Yeah.
flu, I'm fucked. And then,
Yeah.
and then you're telling me you got 3 operations, and I'm like, fuck, I feel like a bitch now.
I think my pain tolerance is just like increased to like 100.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
fuck.
But obviously, you like your relationship with your parents probably, got stronger. Your relationship with your
most
partner
definitely.
got a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, he was obviously. How long you guys been dating?
Just like 3 months, but we've known each other for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
there you go.
Oh,
We were
right.
friends
How do you
for a
guys know
long
each
time.
other?
We were
Like,
friends.
how'd you guys meet?
We were friends for a long time. I think we met like at my friend's party.
It's high school.
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and he would have been there from like day dot. He was like, "Fuck, we just got in a
Yeah.
relationship, and now this is going through." And
Yeah,
fucking,
it was a lot to put on like such
Wow.
I remember because I was in ICU and I woke up. We were still dating back then.
yeah.
And I woke up and he was full like crying, and I was like, "What?" Like I
Yeah.
couldn't tell, but I was like, "Why are you crying?"
Oh shit.
And then he was like, "Will you be my girlfriend? Like I don't want to lose you." He's probably gonna kill me.
Oh, hey, what's his name?
Yeah.
His name is William.
Yeah, you have to drop the last name, by the way.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Oh shit. Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, I think just like life's too short. If you love someone, just like be with them and just tell them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh my god, what a guy,
I'm so
bro.
corny.
No, but
let's
that-
not talking about.
No, but I did say like what a guy, because I like, being a guy, you really have to be like hard out, like
Yeah.
full, he must have felt some way about you.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like he must have felt,
He's a good
oh,
guy.
you know
He's
what I
a
mean?
good
Hey, William. he
Hey,
must have
guys,
felt,
wow.
you know what I mean? He must have felt some type of way, right? You know what I mean?
No, he's good.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I mean,
Very
like, fuck,
blessed.
bro. Oh,
I think-
100%.
I honestly think like he was like brought into my life at like such a good time. And even my
Oh.
mom, when I was in hospital, I remember one day we were both crying and she was like, Anak, like I prayed for someone who would take care of you and who'd be good to you. And I think that's William. And I was like,
Hey.
really? Really? I think so
Amazed.
too. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh my goodness.
cute.
Anyways.
Okay, so we do have a minimal amount of time, so let's start getting into, a bit of real estate here.
Oh yes.
Oh, shit. Real estate.
I do appreciate you telling us the stories. We'll definitely
You liking your job?
learn.
How long you been there?
Yeah, I've been at this company for like 2.5 years.
Yeah, right.
I started in real estate like 2015, 16.
Oh, but this
Um,
company.
Yeah, so I first started like just doing like real estate admin and doing like PA.
So was it a job that you were
Oh.
like, I'm going to go into, real estate, or you like, I just need a job right now? And
Yeah, like I was just looking for receptionist jobs because I studied Bachelor of Business, so I needed to like kind of enter the field in some way. So I started
Mhm.
off as a receptionist. I enjoyed that. I worked in Mount Druitt, so our type of clientele is,
yeah.
yeah.
A bit. It speaks for itself. I
Yeah,
think,
it speaks for itself.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, right.
Um,
Where you working now?
I work in project marketing. So I work for a project called Acuna Vista. So it's land that we sell in Schofields.
Oh, so you work still local? You're still
local,
right?
Yeah.
Been there for the last 2.5 years or whatever.
Yeah, I'm
because there's a lot of house and land packages out there,
I
right?
know. I've learned so much about just that type of fielding because I used to do residential sales.
Oh, what are you doing now?
I do project marketing, so that's house and land.
Oh, the whole plan of the project.
Yeah.
Is that what you sell?
Yeah.
Oh, right, nice. So you're in sales.
Oh yeah, basically, I do sales, I do admin, I do marketing, I do all of it.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
fucking
I
everything.
Think, you worked in real estate too, right?
Worked.
Yeah. Where did you work?
I worked in North Sydney, and it was like a national real estate property investment.
Okay.
It was the Australian market as a whole, and you'll know what to look out for in each state and why you should invest in multiple states rather than the one city.
Yeah.
It was like a fucking whole strategy.
Yeah.
That was alright. It was still cool.
Yeah, and I know they have an investment property.
Yeah, I got that one.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I bought it.
Is that here?
No, it's in Melbourne.
Okay.
It's in a suburb called Footscray. They sold it. It's like the Piedmont of Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, Piemont's pretty expensive. If it's anything like Piedmont,
up and
then
coming,
it's up and coming and everything. It was really cheap at the time. It was like 400 G's.
Shit, that's
dropped
cheap.
about 50, 60 grand in the deal already. So
wow.
Everyone thinks I'm like a stingy cunt or a poor cunt or whatever, but I just that's where my money's at. That's where it's in.
That's
at
really
the moment,
smart
so
investing. I would love to get into that. How did you save for a deposit?
Oh wow. Oh shit. Nah. Great
Definitely
question. Great question. I honestly I get that question a lot. But I haven't actually documented or really said anything or really addressed it, right? So
yeah.
I think I just saved since I ever started working, I probably saved I don't know, at the time it was like 10 grand at the time. Well, I had a bit over 10 grand, but the commitment up front was like 10 grand, and then I was due another 10 grand in 12 months time. But what I suggest to people is save at least 50K, and just educate yourself, because there's people out there selling you something. Like everyone's going to try and sell you something, but you really got to be educated, what's their agenda or whatever.
Yeah, know your stuff. Always do your own research.
Do your due diligence. What I'd like to say to people is always look at, if you're working with someone, whoever it is, or if you're going to pay up front for like a membership fee or something like that into a company or whatever it is, I would do your due diligence. Look at their track record, look at some case studies to support the results that they've achieved or achieved for their clients.
Yeah.
And make sure they have an understanding of the whole market and not just Sydney. Because if you know Sydney, you're just gonna say don't invest in Sydney because it's fucking expensive right now.
Yeah,
but then other people know that it's not good to invest in Sydney, but right now it's probably best to invest in Melbourne because it's fucking awesome. It's very cheap for what it is.
Yeah.
And it's about to surpass Sydney as the largest city in all of Australia. As well as buying land in Brisbane, because the market's really, really, I guess, because I don't know, the whole strategy is you buy a house and then you go into apartment. When houses get unaffordable, everyone looks at apartments as being the next affordable option.
Yeah.
So it's really led by housing and then by apartments. That's why you see a lot of, in the city, it's a lot of projects around apartments.
The city,
it's very apartment. There's a lot more apartments than there is houses, because you don't want a single house in between a bunch of big apartments. It's gonna look weird, right?
That's true.
But as far as advice, it's just save. I helped one of my friends get into a deal. His name is Tom. He lives down the road from me. At the time, he had money, and he told me, we had a conversation. I'm like, look, bro, have a chat with me, and then I can have a chat with my team, and then if you want to join, we can fly. Him and I flew him to Brisbane with my team.
Oh, really?
So he can get he can see what he's buying. Because we really like to teach people to touch and feel the real estate that you're buying.
This is when you were working in real estate.
This is when I was working in real estate. So I flew with Tom to Brisbane. He saw the development he was buying in. He knew this the kind of surrounding suburbs and shit like that and what's happening. And we don't coerce people into buying property. It's as an add value, we're gonna fly you to this location and you can suss it out for yourself. We're not trying to fuck you around, right? And if you want it, we'll have a chat, we'll negotiate or whatever.
Yeah.
This and that. But because much like you probably know the industry, there's a lot of cowboys out there.
Yeah.
A lot of sharks trying to just
100%.
Get sales and shit.
Yeah.
So, and oh man, and I know they're tightening. I don't know if you got your certificate of registration.
I do. Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it was a process. Hey.
It was. Was it like?
I had to like.
How long did you do it for? Like, how did
I could have probably got it done in like a day or like a week, but I took like I think like 2 months.
Oh wow!
Because it was like gradual. Like I could do the work and like submit like each course, like sort of thing.
Yeah. When did you do it?
I got it in like 2016.
Oh right, okay.
But now they're changing like the rules and everything.
Yes.
I'm like, I actually have to get a license now.
No, you have to actually get a license.
And like my work is like doing like a couple of people at my work are like doing some course. You can get it in a day or two, and it's like $850. Like it's not cheap to get your license.
It's not. Yeah. So when I did my registration, that's what they were saying as well. Like, oh, things are going to change. You have to go for your license.
Yeah.
And when I went for it, that's it. What I learned, the assessments I was doing had no correlation with my actual job, with the actual industry. So
what were they asking?
So you know how there's parts on like property management, and all that.
You have to learn like everything.
You have to kind of learn everything, right? And then in my role, in the actual role I was doing, because I do the whole scope of the project, like all of Australia.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like because you have to have different licenses in different states, right?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's so different, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was with me was they're like, okay, you understand why they have to get the license now, because everyone has to be accountable and shit, and you can't work under a license. You have to have your own license. And at the time when I was doing it, they were saying like, yeah, you have to go for your license. And when I went for my registration, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. It literally has no correlation to the industry. Like
a lot of it's just like common sense.
Yeah,
and like just like I go always say
it's common sense, but it's also like I'm never gonna apply this. Like I'm never actually gonna. And it's funny because I was asking my colleagues at the time, and like surely they'll know. They're they're killing it, and they're fucking making heaps of money. And I'm like, and they're like, sorry, mate, I don't know the answer. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what, are you serious? He's like, it's changed since I've done it, mate. And I'm like, oh god, like, are you serious? Like, this is shit, right?
And like every year you have to like renew it. Like when you had your certificate of registration, and you had to do your CPD points, and like the modules on that were like just time management.
Those who aren't familiar, what's the points for?
Like
I don't even know.
You need to get those points to have like
to stay accredited.
To stay accredited.
Yeah, right. But I think the whole idea is, or what I like to suggest, and I have even to this day, I'm like really passionate. I'm just really excited about real estate because it's not hard to get into it.
It's really not.
It's really not hard. Yeah. Like if you just know, and if you can negotiate, and if you have someone that can do it obviously for you, like if you work with a company that can do it for you and shit like that, it's not hard, and it's not like, I guess it's going back to education, because everyone listens to the media, everyone's gonna listen to the fucking your neighbor, when you have a barbecue and all that shit, right? Your neighbor
that doesn't have a property.
Your neighbor that doesn't have a property that's been burnt in the past, all these stories, right? And then my advice to that would be, just have a chat with someone. I would just, it's fucking easy. Have a chat with me. Yeah. Have a chat with me. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm just going to educate you. Just educate you. Just tell you what's up. And then just tell you the company that I work with, because literally they do an awesome job. Like I would say they're market leaders in what they do. But yeah, as far as saving for yeah.
Oh yeah,
because we did talk about it.
No, I think I answered a question like saving for it. Just save at least 50 and then have that conversation with me. Like,
because me and my partner were actually looking to like buy a house in Adelaide. We have a lot of family there.
Oh,
and
nice.
Real estate is like super affordable.
Yeah,
in
it's super cheap
there. I could buy a fucking nice house.
Yeah,
for
you can
400 and 500,000.
Oh yeah, you can buy like a 5 better, and it's like I think it's even cheaper than that.
Yeah, I always go on realestate.com like that app, and I'm continuously like looking.
Huge.
Yeah.
You got a lot of family there in Adelaide.
Yeah, my mum's side's over there.
Wow. So, fuck, they probably come here and like it's too expensive.
It's
this
so
and that.
expensive here.
Fucking
It's
Opal's
crazy.
expensive and everything.
Cost of living here is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
even taking tolls, like I took tolls the other day. I spent like $25. I was like, you freaking kidding
It's
me?
a rod, eh? Fuck Sydney.
Seriously,
I love this
tunnels.
place. Yeah, I love everyone that I met here. I'm blessed and everything.
Yeah.
But no, that's it. Like in comparison to like other states.
Yeah.
That's why when they told me about opportunities, of like property prices in Melbourne, like a lot of people don't know that there's a Bondi in other states.
Yeah.
Pyrmont in a different state. There's a Marrickville. There's a fucking
Even
Newtown.
Melbourne's starting to get expensive, but I've seen like property prices and like I read stuff about it. Like the medium house price is like going higher.
Yeah, the median house price, but the
apartments too.
Like it goes back to apartments because it's going to get more affordable. The prices for apartments are going to grow. So a lot of people, and I had this chat, but I'm not even going to drop his name, but I had this chat with a guy and then he's like, oh, you work in real estate, huh? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Melbourne's supposed to do good. How come my apartment isn't doing good? You know, I've had that for 10 years. And I'm like, well, you should have bought a house because like houses lead the growth.
That's true.
You know, if a house is affordable, you're going to buy a house over an apartment. You're not going to buy an apartment, right?
Yeah.
And I told him that and he's like, oh, yeah, he's skeptical, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, of course you're skeptical. You don't know what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? You probably heard it all, been burnt, right?
Yeah.
And I was just being flat out with him, like,
straight up.
Like, I get it. You've been burnt, like, but don't put it all on me.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, that's so true.
Right?
Oh
like you're taking it out on me. Like,
Yeah.
look, man, I know you've been burnt and like, I'm sorry. And you probably know this as well.
Honestly.
Like you've probably heard this as well. It's like, it's unfortunate, but that's what happens in a lot of industries.
Yeah.
And you hate it because like, fuck, when you have good intentions and shit and you actually know what you're doing, it's actually fucked, eh? Like it kind of fucks you over. But it's like, Adelaide's good. It's affordable. Would it grow in value?
Yeah.
It'll grow eventually.
Yeah.
But like the top three would be like, you know, Melbourne and then Brisbane.
Yeah.
Brisbane's growing because they're putting that new casino in and they're doing a lot of infrastructure and all that shit because there's supposed to be like so Sydney is classified as a global city, and they're trying to make like Brisbane into like a global city. They're trying to. I think Perth will grow before Adelaide.
I've never been to Adelaide's like the town of retirement. There's a lot of senior people.
That's what a lot of people say, actually. That's what I hear a lot. But because at the time when I was working there, we weren't promoting LA because why would we? It's not going to give you the ROI that you want, right?
Yeah.
But WA, they share the same time zone as like parts of Asia. So a lot of businesses in Asia are like making like WA like a home, like a head office for their business. But yeah, like I would do Melbourne. I'd probably like my next purchase would be in Brisbane. Like my mate already. Like I put him into a deal and he's already made money. So
wow, that's good.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. But I mean, if you're going to invest in and put it in Adelaide, like fuck yeah, do it, man.
Yeah, I'll see where it takes me. Hey.
Like I wouldn't invest it because are you saying you're going to move there?
Oh
shit! Was that conversation?
No, we've talked about it, but like I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Like I'm quite happy where I am right now. There's a lot of job opportunities in Sydney in terms of like what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, for sure. So are you like with what you're doing right now? Are you like, you know, you're gonna be in real estate, right?
Yeah, like I enjoyed doing real estate. I love like the first like initially meeting them and then like securing
the whole
blog.
journey.
Like I think it's just I love like interacting with people like that
Yeah,
and like
sick.
being able to assist with that and like obviously like building their dream home and like I find all of that really interesting. I would love to do like property home styling or like take up an interior design course. Like that would be really cool too.
Right. Is that like down the line or are you already looking into it now?
I still need to finish my uni degree.
Oh right, you're still in uni.
I'm still studying.
How is it?
Yeah, it's good. I'm on my final semester, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh, nice. Fuck. You're doing
what was the degree again?
Business.
Bachelor of Business.
Right.
And why
It's
did you
very
take
broad,
that over any other course? Like, why did you take that course?
I think business is so broad. There's a lot of different fields you can go into.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thought I'd just switch it up. I initially wanted to do social work, and then I was like, nah.
I was gonna do social work.
Because he did. He wanted.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And then
I
I
don't
was
look like it, but Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, and I was actually gonna do social work, and then I deferred a year, and then I kind of thought about it.
Was that right after high school?
Yeah, in 2015. I just did fuck all for. I didn't do fuck all for a year. I worked in retail.
You still
and
had
I was
something.
just like partying and like just living my
But you
best
thought you were
life.
gonna do social work.
Yeah, and then after that I was like, no, actually I want to do business.
Did you talk to a careers advisor? What happened there?
I don't know. I just think it was
Social work.
Just social.
Like you were dead set on social work.
Yeah, I think I just like helping people. And then I was just like, no, like I think I want to do something else.
Yeah, that's exact same.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I could do that.
I think like every time I tell someone I work, I don't know if you get the same thing. Every time like, oh, like what do you do for work? Like, oh, I work in real estate. I think the biggest perception is like, oh, like you make so much money.
How
you
fucked
make
up is
so
that, eh?
much money. And I'm like, no, like it's not the case. Like,
yeah. You getting that?
yeah, like I just have this whole. Some people who don't really know like real estate, like just have this whole perception of like what it is, and I see their face, and then I'm like, I know you think I make money, but I don't. Yeah,
like, I don't.
Like, do you see the car I'm driving, bro? Like,
are
nice.
you serious, bro? You should like I dress like this, but I don't even want, like, it's not even me. Like, you know what I mean? No, but I totally agree with you, because I was getting that a lot, especially when I tell them I do like national investment, real estate. And then they're like, oh, fuck. And then they give me a look, and then they do these with their eyebrows, like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, no, bro, trust.
It's not
it's not, man. Like, and I think that's the thing. I think, well, I made the switch to like digital. So I'm doing digital marketing now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is interesting. And the reason why was obviously, you know, you don't really make money in real estate until like maybe your fourth, fifth year.
Yeah.
If you're doing sales, because you got to build the pipeline. You got to get in.
I agree.
And I don't know if you get that misconception, but when I was working, because I was so young, they see me and they're like, "What do you know?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Because you're young, you think you know more than me? Like, I'm older than, like, do you
it's
get
so
that?
funny when you like tell them like, oh my gosh, like they're so surprised, like this and this and this, and they're like, oh, like you know a lot. It's like, yeah, it's my job. To know
I know.
Like, it's my job to know this, but yeah.
God. And I at the time I was getting it heaps, and I'm like, oh yeah, thanks, man.
But now take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, thanks, but like, it's like almost they were kind of being condescending.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
so many people like that. There's so many rude people. I just can't deal with people sometimes.
Oh well, I think
across any industry, right?
Yeah.
Across any industry, but like because it's so personal buying a house, and then they want it to be
such a big
right.
investment,
and
like they want to be taken care right, and like service is important.
Oh, 100%. They want to like, sometimes you have to hold their hand.
Yeah.
And it's almost psychology. Like, trust me, hold. Like,
some people are saying, like, I'm doing one stage 2 in our project is like registering. So people are getting like valuations done for their blocks.
Oh, my
I never
Lord.
knew any of this before I started, but like, like we have valuers coming out, and some people are like, oh, is like the valuation going to come under, or is it going to come like in full?
Yeah, because they go out of pocket.
Yeah, they go out of pocket. But when buying off the plan, isn't that something like you have to take that into consideration?
Well, actually,
Do you?
I bought off the plan.
Oh, okay.
I bought off the plan, and it was 3.5 years off the plan, right?
Oh.
And there's a lot of like, oh, don't buy off the plan. It's fucking shit. You don't know what you're doing, whatever.
Yeah.
My parents are like, what the fuck are you doing? Did they put a gun to your head?
Yeah.
Like, they're giving me that fucking conversation.
Yeah.
And whatever. And I'm like, bro, I'm in capable hands. You know, trust me, whatever.
Did it go?
So it's still due to complete like mid next year.
Okay.
So the good thing about that is I have time to save to settle the deal.
To settle. Yeah.
But I'm confident I made money on it, and this is something, it's almost like a lesson in itself, but a lot of people, they do developments, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of whatever property groups or whatever, they do developments. But being a developer doesn't really take much. If you have money to do a development, you're a developer, right? Or whatever. And you have to go through, you know, like processes and stuff like that, and go through council and whatever. But anyone can be a developer and develop, right? But the thing is, if you're not really good at it, you might produce a shit building. And this is like majority of people, they produce shit buildings. And this is me, shit, for lack of a better word, shit, right? It's not like tier 1, like, you know, it's not like Gucci, the Gucci of property, right? It's not like that, right?
Oh, okay.
But you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
But like, if you work with a brand, then you know the track record, you know what to expect. So I would work with branded like developers. Well-known, branded. So you know you're safe
like
almost.
The project I work is for DHA, which is Defence Housing Australia. So they're very reputable.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
They've got a lot of communities and projects around Australia. Yeah. So it's good. And like I know we also like talk to people from Stockland, like they're really good.
Oh yeah, Stocklands is good. Yeah, Stocklands is good. But yeah, I would always, for peace of mind, like look at the track record, work with a branded developer or a property group, because like you don't know, and that's the thing. When people have a bad experience, they're gonna think everything's the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And they see it through their lens, and then they talk. And then it's like, whoa, like I'm sorry you had that experience, but that's
not the same case for everyone.
Yeah, it's not the same case. But yeah, man, like I would go that way. But as far as like, you know, that whole thing about, you know, oh, you're young, what do you know about real estate? In digital, it's literally the opposite. They're like,
really?
oh yeah, what? yeah, you look young, you must know.
You
grew up
so
with this.
much, yeah.
You must know so much. Like, how can we do it? Like, teach me.
Yeah.
And all that.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
there's
That's
such
refreshing.
I know. And I'm like, oh, like this is, thank you. Like, I actually don't know, but like, I'll help you find out. You know what I mean? But I think that's the difference that I really saw in like the industry. And I'm still in sales, but being in digital is different, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. I still, if there's a chance for me to go back into real estate, and with the opportunities there, I'd probably go back into it. It's awesome, right? Like, I mean,
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I enjoy it.
But you don't, right? You don't.
You get good and bad days,
Yeah, of course you have
like,
those.
Yeah, such a rush, but I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Can we go into like the differences between like the job, so the job you have and the job he had? So
I think it's too much different, eh?
When you want to start investing, so with Jono's one, it was he
like
did
that's
like
what we
apartment
did.
ones.
We help build
people invest.
Like we take people. So if you want to like be financially independent, we help you build a portfolio of property, and we strategize around achieving that, whatever, in like 10, 15 years.
Oh, that's
because it's a long-term commitment. You got to be in it for like the long run.
Yeah.
It's not an overnight success story or whatever like that. And
agree.
we frame that, and we take into consideration like your age. Like if you're younger, obviously you could be a bit more bullish in your acquisition of property and and that hold strategy. But like we've had people that nearing retirement. What's the strategy? It's different.
Do you go through like pre-approval process and like qualifying there?
Yeah. So we do all that, but where I used to work, the team would negotiate the deal for the clients.
Yeah.
Because we had 5,000 clients, it's almost like, hey, we got 5,000 clients that might potentially buy a deal, and because there were deals where our clients would get like 5% off or like 5% paid by the developer, because bringing that much client to a builder or a project and them offloading it in a matter of 20 minutes or whatever it is, it saves them from like paying off the bank, like because they have holding costs and they have project fees and shit like that they have to pay off. So if we can alleviate or help facilitate the deal, so they don't have to chuck shit on realestate.com and wait for inquiries and then sift through the doll bludgers and whatever, right?
That's true.
But that's pretty much it. Like we help people do that. And I'm still really tight with them. Like it wasn't like I burnt a bridge. Like I really...
You just kind of wanted to move on sort of thing?
I see, at the time I was just like... I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was taking the steps to like moving up, and then it was like, oh shit, like now I have to commit. Now it's me having to commit, and if I don't, then like that's it. Like, I have to commit. So I'm like, if I'm already having like feelings of like regret or whatever it is, then I'm like, if my heart's not in it, then it's because like if your heart's not in it, it's hard already. Like
then you just don't enjoy it.
And then you don't enjoy it. So I kind of just like, okay, I'm already feeling this way. I'm gonna not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
But I'm here now. I'm kind of happy already. So
that's good.
As
long as you're happy.
Was that any different? Is that different to what you?
Oh, like he seems like he works for like helps that like you help them. People invest. Like you work in like
they're like a coaching.
We coach people. Yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, we coach people.
Oh, that's
fuck,
cool.
I'm stupid.
Yeah,
like,
coaching.
That's what I was doing. Like we're like coaching people, and
I guess we're like kind of how would you say this? Like people that help them like first start off. Like if they were interested, because I do project marketing, so anyone who wants to buy like land in the Northwest, like specifically my project that I do is in Schofields. We have like 1,100 lots in the whole estate.
All right.
So it's a big community, like master plan community. But it's a lot of like in terms of like difference with like residential and like projects, it's like a kind of different system. Yeah, I know like for residential, like once you exchange, like they get the commission, but like in terms of our settlement, it usually happens like a year later, and you don't get your commission till it's settled.
Till a year? Oh, yeah. It's the same for us. Like when we were working, a lot of the sales guys wouldn't get their comms until, so they'll unconditionally exchange.
Yeah, unconditionally exchange.
Then they'll get like part of the com,
Yeah.
and then once they settle, they get the other part of the com, right? So it's like the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost the same. But as far as like investing, is that something obviously you want to get into? Is that like the asset you want to kind of? Is that the vehicle you want to kind of go by?
Yeah,
like with your whole thing.
Definitely.
Like you kind of just do you, but like just start building a property portfolio.
That's what.
Is that what you and Willie?
Want to
William?
start doing.
Yeah, right. What's your boyfriend doing, by the way? What's he doing? What's he up to? Is he?
He's a nurse, yeah.
Is he like nurse, like full
He's
on
a
registered?
Registered nurse, yeah.
Fucking what? So he was like, he full like knew.
He was full taking care of me.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was
He's
like,
so
fuck, he probably
lovely.
knew what he was doing there.
Oh,
with the
honestly, like
fucking-
when I was in hospital, he was full like changing my bed sheets, like doing my injections.
What a guy,
Yeah.
bro! What a
man.
guy! What a guy, bro! Holy shit!
The
Yeah.
nurses at the actual place didn't have to do anything.
I mean, they did, yeah. He was full offering and like he was being really helpful.
He's a nurse.
Yeah.
Oh God! How long has he been a nurse for?
Like a year and a bit. He
Oh,
just
right.
graduated like last year.
Oh right.
Yeah.
So he's
Liking
full
it.
on.
Yeah, he's liking it.
Well, that's
It's
him.
full on, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Didn't realize.
Shit,
Shout
I
out
know.
to all the nurses and
Yeah,
doctors.
fucking
like,
F the
I
nur-
don't think
the
they get
nurses.
enough credit for like
No,
honestly what
no,
they
they
do.
don't.
Yeah.
They really don't. But I mean, he's a nurse. I mean, you're in fucking real estate. I mean, obviously, like, you guys had that conversation. That's something you want
Yeah.
to do.
Is it
Obvious-
something you brought up, or is it something?
Oh yeah,
he
was it
brought up?
something he brought
I
up?
think so. I brought up.
Yeah.
He's like, we should buy a house soon. I was like, just gotta save first.
Yeah,
so,
of course. I'm
you
sure
know.
you guys are working towards that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh fuck! And it's gonna be the first one in Adelaide, right?
We'll see. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Are you
we'll
guys
Are you
want to buy a
looking?
house together?
see. Oh man,
Us?
well I already put
No.
money into a
He's
deal,
already got one.
and I'm planning to buy another one.
No.
Like
In
after
terms
that.
of like our goals,
Yeah.
like it quite like different.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I would say buy it in your own name first, so you can utilize the first homeowners
Buy-
grant
yeah,
each,
grant,
right?
yeah.
Don't
And
buy
you
it together,
have to live in it
and you have to live in
for
it.
6 months.
Wait,
If
in
you're
Adelaide,
in,
it's 6 months?
Sydney-
I think
oh,
so.
Wait, no, Adelaide.
In Sydney, I think it's 6
Is it 6
months. In
months? Yeah.
Victoria, where I bought, it's 12 months.
I know
So I'd have
a
to
lot of
fucking
people
make
that
it.
have bought it and like had like loopholes, like
Yeah,
not really
oh,
living
yeah,
there,
but,
but
like-
they've taken
Like the water bill will get sent there and all that, but like
No one's really
no one's really
Yeah.
living there or whatever. But you know, there's ways around that. Whatever.
Yeah.
People do it. Like you know,
I know.
people do it.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, yeah, that's something. So you're saving. You want to work towards that. You know, whatever. Is there a timeline on that? Like you want to have like whatever 5 by 30. Like what is? Have you thought like that?
Oh, I haven't thought that. I think one was just like sufficient for
Oh,
me.
right.
But
right.
like, I would love to like, because I know quite a bit in terms of like property management too. So I could probably like, I'd like manage it myself, or like,
yeah.
you know how property managers like, oh, like kind of take you for a ride and like, what fees do you charge and like this and that. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally get ya. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have that experience, you could probably do it yourself anyway. So
Yeah.
fuck it,
Oh,
why
but
not?
then again, I don't want to handle it myself, so I'll probably just.
That's what I mean.
someone
It's a-
else
it's
to
a-
do
yeah,
it.
it's-
Are you looking at like houses, or are you looking at apartments? Like, is it houses specifically
I think
that you want to
houses
do?
specific. I haven't really looked into apartments, to be honest.
Mm.
All right, of course, I want a house.
Yeah.
I want a house. If I could buy a
No,
house,
but like,
then-
there's a difference between wanting a house and using it as an investment and getting a house and living in it.
oh, is that what
Yeah.
you're doing? Trying to buy a house and live in it, or you're like buy a
Yeah,
house?
or like if you want to like move back here, like we could just rent that out and then like. Move.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
right.
We'll see where it takes me. Hey, it's
Yeah,
still
well-
quite early days, so.
yeah, it's definitely early days. I mean, fuck, your man's a nurse. He's fucking on it too. So
Yeah.
is he on the same page? Are you guys on the same page
Yeah,
with all
we
that?
are,
That's
which is good.
Yeah,
You
sick.
guys have
Need to
been
be
dating
with
for like how
someone.
long?
On the
Yeah,
fucking same
on the
page. Oh,
Love
100%.
that.
Same page.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Fuck. So when you guys got together, 5 years obviously in the making, right? So he's so he made the move first, right?
Yeah, like when we back in like after high school, we used to like each other and like I don't know,
Keep in
nothing really
touch, keep in
happened. But we were
touch.
always like friends, and
Yeah.
then I was in other relationships, and like he was I don't know seeing other girls, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
it kind
yeah,
of just
yeah.
happened, and then
And it just clicked, and
Yeah.
then you guys got together,
good timing and everything.
and you guys reconnected, and then
yeah,
yeah. Oh shit.
he's a good guy.
She might not want to talk about it.
Oh,
no, it's
sorry,
okay.
sorry,
I don't mind
sorry,
talking about it. He's
I mean,
probably like,
he's
"What is it?"
probably feeling some type of way about
I'm
me.
so
He loves you in that,
nah,
right? So
yeah, he's a cool guy. He's a
he
good
loves
egg.
you. He loves it. He loves it. He loves it. He loves it.
Good.
Oh shit! Fucking know. No, I appreciate you sharing that story, man. I mean, obviously from your experience, just what I took away from that is like, because the thing is, right? So I heard well, Kirby died recently.
Yeah.
Right. And then
crazy.
hearing you, and then I'm fucking, and then just thinking about like that fucking, I don't know if you listened to our first one, but what got me as well, everything is a combination, right? So when it was like, you know, at the end of your life, when you look in the mirror and you see someone, the stranger thing, it was like, whoa, like I don't want to fucking see, like if I'd done everything right and I was fearless, and he's looking at me like, bro, why'd you do that? Like, why you shit cunt? You know what I mean? For lack of a better word. And like that kind of got me. And then hearing your story, I'm like, there's actually no time to rest. Like obviously rest, but like no time to like dawdle and just kind of, you know, fucking here and there, whatever.
Like
fuck
just
around,
do
exactly.
what you want to do and just like,
Yeah, of course.
Live your life. Like just be happy and
yeah. Talking about doing what you want to do. So if you're going 10 years into the future, what are you like? What are your plans?
Yeah, what do you see for yourself?
I hopefully want to be married, have kids,
How
many?
have a house. Man, I want 4 kids. I want a big family.
Hey, I'll say the same thing, babe.
Oh, we spoke about it yesterday.
4.
Yeah, I think after being.
Do you have 4 in your family?
No, I have just me and my sister.
Oh,
but like 4, like enough.
Oh no,
yeah.
no, like siblings.
Oh no,
Just
just 2. Just us 2.
Why 4 kids? What happened there?
I just want a big family.
How about
same.
Your boyfriend?
He wants 3 kids.
3.
He comes
3,
from a
4.
family of 3
Oh, there you go.
siblings. So
Is he the middle child?
he's the oldest.
Oh.
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm not. I'm the second youngest.
Oh, and I know Alison has a big family. You have like how many
She's the youngest,
sisters?
bro. She's the
Just
bunso,
3.
right? Is that
Yeah,
did I use that
3.
word correctly, babe? Bunso.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking
youngest in Tagalog.
Yeah, right.
But no, it's not. I wouldn't say we have a big family, because
Mm.
like if you hear my, well, never mind. We won't go there.
Can I ask you guys a question?
go.
My friend asked me a question. She was like, if you had to pick one word as like a theme for the year, like what word would you pick? Like for example, her word was upgrade. And that could mean anything, like upgrade your diet or like upgrade, I don't know.
Good question.
Oh, wow.
Like that could mean anything, you know, like upgrade your car or like whatever it be. And my one was well-being. Like to work on myself in terms of this year, one word would be well-being.
Oh my God, what
like
a great
physical,
question.
mental, spiritual, like, you know, all that. So what would your one word be?
Go, babe. You're I'm
Master.
Master.
And what, like?
Or mastery. Master or mastery?
Yeah.
Fuck you. I wasn't gonna say that one. Why?
Just
Why?
like what master?
Yeah.
Like just everything, like all aspects of life. So you've got health, wealth, love, happiness, business, doing the podcast, like being able to, because it takes 10 years to build something like master something. 10 years to master
Perfect
something, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a long game. So master.
Yeah.
It's really
that's a good one.
This one was like literally so long in the making, and I think
Yeah.
we're just like, fuck it, let's do it. Like for me,
Good on you guys. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
They're like they sit on an idea for ages and they just don't act on it.
An idea is nothing when it's not executed.
Amen, sis.
Yeah, nah, definitely. Mastery is a good one. I think for me it'd be like purpose.
Yeah.
It'd be just going hard. Like for me, like I'm always a guy that like I'll try a bunch of shit. Like, and I don't stop trying until something sticks. And I think I'm just blessed because I kind of have that natural fearlessness or confidence or whatever. Like if something doesn't work out, I'm like, fuck it, just move on.
It's courage.
On to the next.
Yeah, so it'd be purpose.
Yeah.
I just kind of do me and just fucking execute and
Hustle.
just do.
Yeah.
Hustle, like do. I think they all kind of fall under purpose, but I think I just need to make sure
That's a good one.
everything's like, because I'm doing everything for this thing. I'm not just doing everything for nothing. Like it's for something, right?
There's a purpose.
Yeah, so it'd be purpose. Fucking great question, by the way. It kind of one word for the year, purpose.
Yeah.
Fucking that was good. Yeah, sick.
Like that. What was it? Have you asked anyone else that question?
No, you guys are the first one. I was like,
sick.
since I'm gonna be a podcast, I should probably ask them this question.
Yeah, fuck. No, that's good.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep me accountable now.
Yeah. That's it.
Play this
Yeah,
back.
sick.
So going back to the question of fast forwarding 10 years, where would you like your, and then there's like a few to go through. So mental, physical health.
Oh yeah. I hopefully want to like have the surgery that I have to reverse what I have. So definitely 10 years down the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm still fit to have kids. Like having kids is so important to me.
Yeah.
I hope my body can withstand that.
Oh, of course.
I don't know. I have to see how we go.
Is that something they told you, like what is there from the surgeries? Was there some things that they're like, okay, you can't Like, you know how people have certain certain medical like conditions and they can't have kids.
I mean,
so
I
like
can still have kids, but like I just have to be on certain medications and
Wait, they told you that already?
stuff like that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I actually, this is like another story, but like long story short, I had a blood clot in my right leg and it was hereditary from my mom. So I actually got it from my mom.
Right.
So I have to take medication every day to like my blood. How do you put this? My blood doesn't flow. Like it's easy to clot, basically.
Okay.
So do you have to be on like blood thinners or something?
Yeah, blood thinners. I have to take that every day. But if I'm pregnant, I have to have injections every day because that type of medication is not good for when you're pregnant, if that makes sense.
Wowza.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
There's
Is
like
that
so
something
much you have to take into consideration when you're like sick. No, I'm not sick, but like just have like.
I mean, you look very well.
Yeah.
Like if there's any consolation of that, but you don't look like someone that has issues. Like
I know.
You know what I mean? So yeah. Fuck. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but
that's
fuck.
fine.
But
I
you know
get
what I
that
mean? You
all
look
the
good.
time.
You look
I'm
well.
like,
You look
thank
well. You look
you,
healthy. You look healthy. Fuck.
That's what I'm aiming for.
And then going on to so you spoke about relationship. So you obviously said that you want to get married.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Ooh.
Hopefully, yeah. In terms of like career wise too, hopefully like already graduated uni.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Took
course,
it into a
10
design
years, right?
course. Yeah. Hopefully doing something along those lines. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Design. That's
And like
that's
travel
you.
a bit. Yeah.
Any particular destinations, mate?
We've already gone to
I
want to
go to Japan this year.
Oh, nice.
Also, I want to go to New Zealand too. It looks really beautiful.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
What do you do as far as hobbies, by the way?
I like to read.
Oh, you're a reader.
And I try to work out when I can.
What do you read?
You guys should read this book. I read it at the end of last year, but it's called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. It's actually a really good book. And it's not too long.
I'm going to write it down.
Yeah.
And there's 101 essays.
Yeah, there's only 101 essays.
Essays that will
change the way you think.
Okay.
You're a fast reader.
No, I'm quite slow. I like reading books like that, like self-development and like...
Yeah. Top 3.
Oh. That's the only book I've read so far.
Oh, man, I'm not a reader too. I don't even read. I just listen to audios,
yeah. Oh,
I'm
yeah,
a
audio
shit cunt,
books.
yeah.
Oh, Barefoot Invest is good.
Oh, Barefoot. Yeah.
My friend
yeah.
recommended me.
It's very highly recommended.
I changed my bank account.
Yeah.
Asian fund.
Yeah, she was telling me that.
No, because I read it, right? And then I went to a seminar recently and the guy was like shitting on it.
Why?
He was basically saying like, what do you call it? He's like, you're all making it complicated. It doesn't need to be complicated. Like, and he was like making all this spiel about like how complicated it is. Only because I don't think it applies to us.
Yeah.
But if you're in debt, and because he was specifically talking to people with mortgages.
Yeah.
Because like if you're in debt and you think you have savings, you don't have savings. You're in debt. So I don't know why you're complicating all this. Because it had like different steps. You haven't read it yet.
So he was shitting on it.
Yeah, he's basically, I don't know why you guys are like...
Yeah, they like set up like different bank accounts.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Like, there's one like Splurge and like, I forgot the other two.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I have different accounts for like different purposes.
Yeah.
It's probably the way to go, right?
It works for me. I don't know, maybe it just doesn't work for everyone. That's fine.
Yeah, and each get interest. I mean, like, what is this guy shitting on, bro? What a
I think
day.
he's talking about people that had mortgages because that's what he was...
Oh, right.
Yeah,
talking about. It's specifically for people who are in debt.
Right,
because
so
they think they have money.
So you're a reader.
Yeah. Oh, not really a reader.
Not really?
Somewhat.
Trying to get into it, not really. I mean, I'm just trying to like, because
every time someone asks me this, I'm like, I'm such a boring person.
Right, no, don't say that, right? Because I've got a bookshelf in my room and I haven't read a single one, but I have a bunch of books there. I'm one of those guys, bro. I'll get to it eventually, right?
It's a nice shelf help.
It's like kind of like it's like I know I have those books there.
Oh my
God. It's one of the. It's like I know I have
that book I recommend. I don't usually read books, but that was a good book.
And how did you get on that? Like who?
I saw like a blogger or something like read it, and I was like, oh, that book looks cool, and I also ordered it online.
Oh, right. So you physically read it?
Yeah.
Holy.
What do you? Oh, like listen to it.
Yeah, I'm like a listener because
the audio books.
Yeah, because like I'll do it while I'm working out or something.
Oh, while you're on the train.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay, that's
smart. It's like kind of there or whatever. But yeah, sick.
You might get into more reading if you're into that type of stuff because there's a lot out there. It's just a matter of getting the right ones. So a list that helped me was Tai Lopez. So Tai Lopez has like 60? No, it was like 100 books or something. It was like a certain amount of books of recommended books he has.
What books have you read?
I've read quite a few.
She's a fucking bookworm, bro.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't read the whole thing. Like let's be clear. So the strategy that I use is if you can get one idea out of a book,
then
you've got your investment's worth.
Then it's done its job.
Yeah, it's done its job because it's moved you from one, like.
I was fucking shit at reading at school, bro. We're all
compared
shit.
to me, no. I did not like. I hated reading in school.
Yeah.
Only because it was books that you didn't like.
Yeah, like you had to read them.
You had to read them.
So annoying.
So this is different. Yeah. But I enjoy reading books now. It's a habit that I'm still trying to do. But then I was doing this. There's like certain services that you can use that will summarize the book for you.
I would love something like that.
Yeah,
there's a few out there.
I forgot what it was called.
But I'm using one at the moment, and it's
Name drop
it's
it.
Good.
Name drop it.
Mentor Box.
Mentor Box.
Oh, Mentor Box. Oh boy.
Why?
Oh boy. Yeah, it's sick. It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. It's all digital and everything. Yeah. Okay, it's cool. It's sick. It's sick, but
so
it's a subscription though.
Of course it is.
Subscription.
What, you think things are going to be free?
Subscription. Yeah, sick.
It's either $5, right? I think it was like $5 or $10 a month, which is not like a lot. Like it's a coffee.
Yeah,
it's a coffee,
true.
right? And then you just listen to the thing on audio, and you can also put it on 2x speed.
Oh, okay. I know you guys were talking about time speed like in the previous podcast.
Have you tried that though?
Have you tried it?
After you said that, I started to put it on
really?
times 2 speed.
Or maybe not times 2. Maybe
can
you
warm up
to it.
Catch up though? It's a good challenge.
Yeah.
It's a good challenge. When
maybe not straight away. You can do it straight away, but I started like 1.5 and then worked my way up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
So you can like,
because
like it'll go faster, and maybe you can kind of process it.
Yeah. Consume more information.
Yeah. Because our attention spans, right? We're fucking goldfish, bro. Anyway,
apparently the attention span of a human is like decreasing, and it's less than
we're shit,
a goldfish actually.
Yeah, we're horrible.
Which is horrible. Like what? Anyway, continuing on. So let me just get those questions again. Talking about the 10-year goal, you kind of already spoke about career. We'll go to
just
like
keep in mind, babe, we're over an hour now.
We're just about to get there.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, sick.
Family, friends. How do you want like your relationship with them?
I think like having a small group of friends is like perfect. Like you don't need a big group of friends to keep yourself going. Just like the true ones will stay around. So like just to maintain those relationships and to make the effort and
When's your birthday, by the way?
August 30th. Where's your birthday?
What is that?
That's
Virgo?
a Virgo.
Hey, August 30.
Do you have you read like the
star signs and everything? I don't really keep up with that, but it's kind of true, like what they
really
say. Like
you think so
when
too?
you read yours, were you like, yeah, okay, that's me?
Yeah.
Like,
bullshit.
Like are you like that too? I don't really keep up with
I
star
got
signs,
into it and then I like completely gone out of it because I was like, I'm just holding myself.
She got into it and then she threw it.
I was literally like
so into it.
I was so into it. I was like, that's so me. And then I felt like it restricts you.
Yeah.
I don't going, you know?
I usually, when I was younger, I read them in magazines, but not like every
day.
day.
I would read magazines.
Like in
it was
Total
in a
Girl
newspaper or something.
Like,
yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh,
so gay,
that
bro.
magazine.
Like
I love getting those magazines.
Yeah. But that's as far as I would go. I wouldn't religiously like check it every day. Yeah.
I wouldn't definitely not check it every day.
So good.
And then spiritually, so you mentioned
like religion. I actually willingly like want to go to church now and like maintain that relationship with God, and I think that's in my life I think that's very important, so I want to keep doing that. I wake up every day, I'm like, I'm so grateful, like thank you God, like damn.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I always wake up so grateful.
100%.
That's so good. And then with happiness, to finish off that question.
Happiness.
What was the first part of that question? I'm confused.
Can you repeat? In 10 years.
Oh, where? Okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, happiness can mean just a whole lot of things. I think as long as like I'm healthy and I have my loved ones and and I'm in like such a good headspace in my life, then I'll be happy.
That's so good.
I'm all about health. I'm just as long as I'm healthy.
That's
and
your well-being, right? That's your word of the year.
Yeah, well-being. I'm sorry.
Word of the year, well-being.
Talking about well-being.
Yeah.
What are you doing in terms of well-being? Like, are you going to? I know you don't like going to the gym.
Yeah,
Can we
physical well-being.
explore that a little bit? Why you don't like going to the gym?
The gym is just not for me. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, it's fine.
I can't. I don't know. I feel like everyone's just looking at me because I'm that person at the gym that doesn't know what they're doing. Like, I literally just stand there. I don't even know how to do squat
Let me tell you.
Like,
so when someone says I don't like going to the gym,
yeah,
it's usually because they don't know what they're doing when they go to the gym.
That's
and so like you have that fear. You're like you're like, oh, they're looking at me.
But if you knew what you were doing, you'd be there.
Judging me, like dude, I can't.
So I flipped the question and I'm like, do you like playing golf?
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
I don't like playing golf.
Yeah.
But I reckon if I learned how to play golf and I was good at it, I would like it, right?
True.
So that's how I like to see gym. I like to tell people, like, you might actually like it if you knew what you're doing, right?
Just gave it a go.
Do you train anywhere? Like,
no.
We should go to gym one time.
No, but I mean yoga, man. Like that's something I even want to give a go. Like
I tried it's fucking hard.
Wait, hot yoga?
Hot yoga?
Yeah, like you're in a hot.
I tried that one.
Like
you tried that? How was it? How is it?
It's hard. Oh, maybe because I'm not a flexible person. It was like my first class back in a while. It was good. Like I felt so good after.
Yeah.
But it's just 100.
How did they get the room hot?
It's like a heated place.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so hot, but yeah.
I want to give it a go. I want to give it a go once.
It's an experience, yeah.
Yeah, right. Fuck. I want to give it a go.
But to also add on to that, just with the whole gym thing, if you don't like going gym and you've given it a good go, like you've actually gone and tried it and actually tried to get someone to try to help you to do it, if that didn't work out, then I wouldn't force it. Like I would go and find something that you enjoy.
I
would like try different things, right?
I prefer someone to like tell me what to do and like take classes or something.
Same.
Yeah, so some people actually like that.
Yeah,
I'm the same, man. Like, just
I
tell me
want
what the fuck
someone to be held accountable.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, like, you're not doing it right. Or, like, do this. Like,
oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay, I'll do it. But
100%.
if I'm working out by myself, I'm like, okay, what am I doing?
I'm just like, fucking...
That's different, though, because you're working out by yourself, Jono.
Yeah, now, but, like, you wrote me a program.
Yeah.
And I kind of know what I'm doing.
Okay,
like,
well, that's good.
That's...
You
Yeah,
have some
right.
guidelines. And
Exactly.
But what I've seen is there's some clients that actually enjoy doing classes and they like that social dynamic. If they're a social person, they enjoy that. So that's what they thrive on. And so going to the gym is just like an added bonus and they like the social.
Yeah.
Some people are like, they work by themselves. They like doing things.
And they like to be like in their own zone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay,
so
I understand
that's why they go to the gym by themselves, right? So I'm that type of person. I don't really do classes. But there's people that are the opposite and they thrive on classes. So it's... I
feel like I'm mad.
Yeah.
Maybe not thrive, but like at least
But
try.
you like that...
I like taking classes better than...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do hot yoga by myself. Well, that'd be fucking weird, right? I'm just standing there.
It's called Bikram yoga. Just check it out.
Wait, what was it called?
Bikram yoga.
Bikram?
Where did you try?
At Bella Vista. They have like a studio there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I'm going to hit them up for digital. Yeah, so keep going.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so just going back to when you were 18, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, good question.
I was so fucking naive and dumb when I was 18.
I think we all were.
I think we all were.
There's no one,
I would tell myself to like start saving. Like start like saving your money and like even from an early age, like start thinking about. I know when you're young, you don't really think about this stuff, but I wish I had told myself to spend money on, like, just be smart with your money and
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
We got hectic recording. So right.
Oh, don't drop the camera. So
yeah, good one.
So what was I saying? Oh, now I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I just like lost my train of thought. What were we saying again? I don't even remember.
Oh, when you were 18.
Oh yeah, 18 part.
Okay, so when you're 18, honestly, I think we're like similar. Like you just want to go out. Like that was literally your life goal. That was my life goal. That was like our life goal.
Everyone's in that phase.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Got out your system, right?
Yeah. Get out your system. I'm such a nan nowadays. Like I'll go out if there's a special event, but yeah.
You're
totally, man. We're only like still early 20s, and we're like, it's not for us anymore.
Oh
Lol.
Goodness.
There's like different priorities, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good advice to yourself. To give yourself some social media presence, if you'd like. would you like to shout out?
Plug your
any-
shit if you're
Oh
comfortable.
yeah. Oh, I just mainly use Instagram, not really on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
It's just Eliza J Venegas, Venegas.
Yeah, we'll put it all in the
Put it in
what is it called?
description thingy-majiggy, whatever it is called.
What?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Nah, like that story is a one of a kind story, and
I appreciate you guys having me on and
This-
letting me
this
share my
is-
Thank you for
story.
coming
Like
here,
this is
though,
such a new
honestly.
platform I've never.
I
done before.
I had to get you on because of what she told me, and when I heard what happened, I'm like, look, we need to get you on because a story like that is just too unique, and like I'm not saying it'll happen to fucking everyone and shit, and you know and whatever, but it's more just like getting people to think along the lines of like, hey, she's got a second chance at life.
Yeah.
Like how important is that? Like it's super important.
And not everyone has that type of person in their life, so it's good to have someone that has that.
And the resilience, like just how you bounced back, like you could have went into
just
like
a spiral
depression
down
tunnel,
into
fucking, and you could have been in a.
Honestly,
You know what I mean?
I
Like
was
that,
going
right?
through it, but
But
I
you
think,
had
good support system
good
has
old
really
William.
played a big part.
I love you, William.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good support
William.
system, so I can't complain. Like I'm very blessed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Good on you. Good on the
That's
family.
good.
Good on William.
Yeah.
And good on you.
Good on
honestly.
you. Yeah, good on you.
Because without you, it wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have.
Yeah,
gotten
you
through
would have.
because you
You're the fucking.
you chose right. You chose to keep going.
Yeah.
Right. So that's so good. Before we wrap up, we're gonna do a rapid fire.
Oh my gosh! Wait, is this just
Well, your
questions?
story just
gets me like.
You guys are so sweet.
No, but
Thank
you know what I mean.
you.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just like.
That's why we needed to have you on. Honestly,
Oh, thank you.
you want to be able to share it.
When you approached me, I was like, yeah, sure. My goodness.
I actually didn't know what you'd say. I was like,
yeah.
would she? I don't know.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
rapid fire
sure.
questions are just like
It's just silly stuff.
it's just silly.
Finish it off on a fun note.
Okay.
All right, ready? You have a few seconds to answer each one, and whatever comes to your head, just say it.
Say okay.
All right, so patient or impatient?
Oh, impatient.
Morning or night?
Night.
Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Winter or summer?
Winter.
Hot or cold?
Cold.
Assertive or aggressive?
Aggressive.
William.
Rich or poor?
Rich.
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor.
Duplex or apartment?
Duplex.
Land or house?
Both. No.
William,
House.
take notes. William.
Logical or creative?
Logical.
And this one's for the listeners. If you were to leave them with one piece of advice, what would that be?
That is such a good question. Just to be surrounded by people who you love and just to live life and just be grateful and just to take care of yourself, and health is wealth in like all aspects of your life, not just physical. So just like to
100.
treat your body as a temple and just like,
100. William. I love you, bro.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna
Thank
listen to
you.
this.
Yes, she can. Hey, thank you so much, Eliza,
Thank
for
you for
coming
having
on.
me. Oh my goodness.
We're pretty much wrapped up here. But look, all the best. We'll definitely have you on again sometime.
For sure.
In the future, as far as like an update and stuff, just to make sure you're right, see how you're tracking.
Hopefully I'm still here.
But yeah, look, appreciate your time. That's pretty much it, eh, babe?
Yeah.
Anything else? All right, thank you guys.
Thank
That's the
you
end of
for
episode 3.
listening, everyone.
This will be out soon. When you listen to it, give it a listen. But yeah, Eliza plugged her shit like earlier, or whatever.
Guys.
But yeah, hopefully you like that one. I love you.
Bye.
I love you, William. Yeah, bye.